Welcome to the new episode of the Heartfelt Conversations. We're really excited with Despina today because we're going to be doing something a little different, and this is Despina's suggestion. So, Despina, take the mic and let's jump into action.
Yes, I didn't tell you before because I didn't want you to prepare anything like we always do. So today is 21 of August, and 21 in the soul map is the energy of the world. And we're talking about global projects. We're also talking about setting big goals. We're also talking about people who are very keen on learning new languages. And I know you're a polyglot. So I want to interview you because you're a global leader and you have a global heart. And I want you to talk a little bit about the global community that you have just built and I'm part of. And there is tons of value there, a lot of valuable things, free trainings, paid trainings, playful videos, Zoom calls where we can all meet and have fun just to relax and rewind. So I want to hear from you because you're the creator of this global community. And we have people, I don't know, from all over the world, I think, all continents, except Antarctica.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we have someone from there or originally from there. So thank you so much, Despina. I just want to open a little bracket to tell our viewers that you are watching the recording of this conversation that is taking place today on Wednesday, but you are watching it on Monday because we will be busy with Despina at our usual time. So that's why when you hear the numbers and numerology and all these meanings, it is because it took place a little earlier, but that's okay. So talking about communities and talking about tribes, this is a very big thing for me. I just shared before we started about my mental health history with depression and all the efforts I've been putting into raising the awareness and supporting other people. Also, in relation to the social anxiety my younger son went after bullying. I have been bullied at school, and this is not the topic of the conversation now, but I just want to say that for a big part of my life, I felt alone. I felt isolated. I felt I wasn't accepted, and I'm very conscious about using this word. This is how I felt, and this is what I'm also teaching my son when he feels something, how to express himself, to not blame others, but to take responsibilities and talk about feelings. So I felt I did not belong. And around, I think in the beginning of 2018 or at the end of 2017, I had already started working consciously on myself, on my personal growth, my spiritual growth. It has been already about 10 years constantly doing this, when I realized that what I was missing in my life was actually a tribe. And finding a tribe or creating a tribe of soul-minded and like-hearted, soul-aligned, let's say soul-aligned people had even higher priority than fixing or improving certain pragmatic or practical things in my life. So this was the very first time when I actually recognized that this is something I need. I need to dedicate myself. And it became also part of the dedication of my work. Since 2018, I've been hosting, leading, facilitating groups, group coaching programs, communities, free communities, paid communities, masterminds. I became a tribe ambassador for some of the biggest educational networks and platforms in the world. So the Show Up community that I launched exactly 2 months ago, 2 months and a couple of days, is a very natural continuation of that. I decided to step out of social media because I discovered this new platform that gave me all the tools, not just me, all other community creators that allow for more honest and direct, sincere, and authentic communication between the members and between the community owner and the tribe. So I will stop now. I will wait for your next questions because I can talk. I'm so passionate about this topic. I can talk forever, but the intention is this to be a conversation, heartfelt conversations. And also our invitation to the viewers is please type below your comments, share your insights, tell us what touches you from the things that we're covering, and we promise that we will address your questions, your reflections in our next podcast episodes.
Thank you, Iskra. I know that I have been part of some of the tribes, and I have been a tribe ambassador in some platforms as well. And it was very, I grew in ways I didn't imagine. I grew in ways that I learned, let's say, how to hold space. Like in very simple words, you know when to talk, you know when not to talk. It's very different. It was a very different approach than the one I knew, like someone coming and immediately you say, oh no, don't worry about it, everything is going to be all right. And it didn't work. I want to ask you, how does it feel to work with so many people from different cultures? Because sometimes it can be difficult. I know you and I, we're from, let's say, the Balkans, Greece and Bulgarian, but how is it to interact with someone who is in Iceland or Norway? How how do you do that? Because you have a natural talent, of course.
Yes.
But maybe you can share some practical tips for people.
Yeah, there are at least two things that I want to touch upon. The first thing is that I have always felt a citizen of the world since I was born, since I was, I think since I learned to read. I learned to read in Bulgarian when I was 3.5, I think, or 4. And by the age of 6, I already spoke and read in Russian. So I was immersed in international culture. Then on my own, I think I was 7 when I decided to learn Greek, Latin, and Hebrew so that I can learn all possible languages in the world. So imagine a little girl choosing herself to learn all the languages. I was so fascinated by the world cultures. I have read the major sacred books for the main civilizations, and I loved to make comparisons and to make parallels, to see what unites us across the world. And that's why I'm so fascinated also by the concept of the archetypes, because they work across the cultures and civilizations, and whether it was 3,000 years ago or right now, these archetypes could be found, even though the concept is relatively new and it's been introduced by Carl Gustav Jung. So I was looking to see the commonalities, and I was fascinated, and I was enjoying the differences. So I didn't see the differences like something that separates us. I was looking to see the things that unite us. And the fun thing and interesting thing, I don't remember with whom I spoke about it recently, is that in my family, we're 3 siblings, and each one of us has had marriages outside the country. This is really interesting, and we were having this conversation with my sister. What is in our family karma? Why is this happening? And this is the second aspect that I want to touch upon, is for the people, of course, who resonate with this concept of parallel or past lives, or the soul journey that is not limited to this present lifetime. I have memories in my body or in my energy, in my emotions. I have been through intentional or non-intentional past life regressions. I prefer to say parallel lives. I don't believe that everything is in the past. And I have experienced very interesting things. I even have heard myself talk in ancient Japanese, or in a version of French, and some other languages that I can not consciously make my throat and vocal cords produce it, but during some active meditations, I have produced combinations of words that I don't have other explanation, just thinking that maybe a memory is triggered and I'm just connecting with this parallel or different lifetime. So I always felt I don't belong just here. And it's not said by the sense that I don't belong. It's like I belong to the whole world. And that's why I love to connect with people. And as you said, we have people who are, I think, 11 hours back from me, where I'm now, somewhere near Alaska. We also have people in Australia. So it's almost 24-hour difference between these two people. And this is also usually the situation with my group coaching programs. So the only challenge that we have is how to make the time work for us, and so that we get together in one place. So I hope this answers your question about the international approach. I always felt I'm a citizen of the world.
Yeah, and I would add to that that you always speak from the heart, and whichever language you choose to speak in, if you speak from the heart, everyone can understand you, everyone can relate with you, everyone can feel close to you. Hmm?
I received that. I received that in my heart, and to the natural ability or talent. I have to say that I was also trained to do that,
Yeah.
because if I had this ability when I was a kid, I wouldn't suffer from this feeling of being isolated. But starting working in 2009 with my spiritual teachers, I'm a very intensely trained to connect with people from the heart. And this is one particular healing modality, to read the energy of the other person, not in the sense like reading with hands and fixing it, but reading from the heart and connecting and allowing energy to flow, which reveals certain things that I could share. And by sharing, this brings healing or release to the other person. So it's been, I don't remember how many days, about 100 hours or more. It was 2 or 3 years of 10 days intense um, on-site training, like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours a day, in which we learned to connect and to read bodies, emotions, feelings. And this is really truly empowering and also very humbling, because as you said, when we connect from the heart, then the other differences, they're not anymore significant. And then we see how powerful and how beautiful every other person is around us. Even if we have any reasons to be triggered, even if someone is irritating us, or we feel frustrated, or some of our buttons get pushed, like we all have these human experiences. And I remember that when I first heard someone talking about human experiences, I felt triggered, because I thought, oh, this is such a spiritual arrogancy, and this person is thinking that she's above anybody else. And what is this thing? I'm having human experience. But learning to learning to do this work continuously, to be understanding myself better, understanding others better, learning to work with the different levels of consciousness, I come to the point, not just me, anybody, but anybody who is doing this type of work, I'm talking about myself, to shorten more and more the gap between having a reaction instead of a response, noticing it, allowing it to get processed. It's becoming sometimes really instant, as if I have two people in my head, and one is seeing me or experiencing me reacting, and the other one is seeing and saying, oh, this reaction is happening right now. And then it just disappears.
Yeah. To come back to the training, it is very important. And I know I have learned through observation, because I haven't had any training. So for me, the observation was my training, to watch you and other people, how they hold space, what they do, even their posture, a lot of the times. And I absorbed all this, and I tried to make it mine, and deliver it to my communities. I want you to tell me specifically. I know you have a very nice post in the Show Up community about how to give empathetic feedback. and I know you have other trainings. Do you want to talk a little bit about the content that is in the Show Up community?
Yes, of course, I would like to share about it because just in these 2 months since I launched the community, but we actually have been co-creating it with the members of the community. We managed to come to the point that we are ranking #1 in visibility, #1 in therapy. That was surprising. #9 in leadership, and #7 or 8 in authenticity. And this is huge achievement. Some other community creators on school were talking about the school platform. They are proud by gaining the biggest number of people or making the biggest number of sales. For me, the biggest achievement is this particular thing, #1 in therapy, even though we don't do therapy in Show Up. We don't do any healing. But what is important is that it is truly a safe space, a space where people feel free and comfortable and open to share really vulnerably, because we're doing bi-weekly Q&A sessions. We're doing every Wednesday. We will have soon the Joyful Jam. And this is the therapeutic effect of the safe space and of the instructions to communicate empathetically. I think these are the factors, some of the factors for this to be able to happen. And the other factors is that I'm not letting just anybody in. So we would like to invite you to join Show Up if you feel, if you know, or if you suspect that you are a heart-led person, heart-led leader who wants to leave positive impact in the world. Maybe you're still searching how to do it. Maybe you're still in a different type of work or professional expression. If you need this type of people with whom you could share your aspirations to positively change your small circle of influence first, and then bigger, create bigger space and bigger ripples, and maybe even speak on bigger stage, I believe that Show Up is the place for you, for all these people who want to show up for themselves, for their life, for their communities, for their business. Coming back to your question about the empathic communication, I learned to do this type of communication while I was a senior tribe ambassador, as I said, in this big educational platform. And then I had to create instructions for the other ambassadors who were just joining, because our main tasks were to support the students in different self-development and coaching programs to go through their trainings, to complete the trainings. And it's not always easy to give feedback when you see that someone is doing something wrong, or when someone is letting their emotions out, or when someone is not ready to share, because the purpose was to create the space to encourage these people to share so that they could grow, because there were no coaches, there were no assistants, there were no particular presence from the position of the creators of the programs. And our goal as, I would say, community facilitators was to encourage or to create this space for the students to be able to do that. And when we talk about empathic communication, this is actually communication from the heart, recognizing ourselves and also recognizing the others. And I created an extended protocol, which is based on the principles of nonviolent communication by Marshall Rosenberg, but I added a couple of other conditions: when and how to handle hard conversations, how to communicate online, how to communicate in written communication, how to communicate in person. I believe these principles, they have to be taught at school. And these are some of the topics that I actually covered in one of the programs that I designed for a local school. I even mentioned it today somewhere on social media. that was endorsed by our Ministry of Education, and for 2 years it was part of the curriculum of this particular group of students, parents, and teachers, and it was amazing. So if I just want to imagine that this is possible to be added to every school, and there would be less bullying, there will be more understanding, there will be more empathy towards the teachers, from parents to teachers, from teachers to parents. Like I believe that learning to do that, to communicate from the heart, would really change our world, the quality of our life.
Yeah, definitely. I do believe that, and I know that what you are doing in your country is really valuable, and I hope this spreads to other countries as well, because the translation can be done really easily, and everyone can benefit from this one. I know we've had somehow, listening to your story at the beginning, we have had somehow some same experiences. I did have depression as well. I know that we have a similar energy in our map, which has depression and even suicidal tendencies. I don't know if you had that. I had that, and for me, it was also feeling not belonging and finding spaces like yours. I remember I don't know if it was your first Facebook group or your second Facebook group where we had the chance to make videos
It
to
was
show up the
yeah, it was
first.
the first group that I created. Yeah, the first
Yes,
Facebook group. Yeah.
because this was, I think for me, it was the most important aspect of my growth, because I was so shy, I was so introvert, I was so feeling unworthy, I was so feeling, I don't know, ugly, whatever. And you provide it, and you always provide. It's not that you don't provide it now. The safe space, I think this is really important. That when you want to grow, let's say to do a particular thing, whether that is, I don't know, public speaking or growing some skills, you always provide the safe space for people to express themselves. And I've noticed that you set very good boundaries. This is why now you're saying that do not come if you're not heart-led, because we want heart-led people. And I've seen you handling, let's say, difficult or challenging situations with people with so much grace and so much love. And I thank you for that.
Thank you.
This was not a question, this was a comment, but I needed to say this. And you and I also have the baby, a little baby, another community.
Another community which is now growing into something else, because we just today actually we're celebrating 1 month since we created with you, Despina, the Heartfelt Abundance Club, which is the more exclusive space where we are kind of upgrading the people who want to be showing up in their life. Because what we do there is not simply equipping the leaders of the heart and of the mind and of the soul with the leadership skills, allowing to share, to express themselves, but we also do some proper healing work, healing some money trauma, healing and releasing some inherited stories, family stories, generational stories, inherited in the DNA or on karmic level, whatever concept resonates with our viewers. And the transformation has been incredible. We had some testimonials from people simply hours or minutes after joining the space, reporting some money miracles happening to them. So I'm really excited about where this new journey is going to take us, because we have some new ideas that we will announce tomorrow to our members during our weekly abundance hour, which is a very powerful and beautiful space. And yeah, I love to be co-creating with you because we have so much fun and we share that excitement. It's really joyful, like my heart overflows with joy.
And I think this is a very important aspect. Like when you create something with fun, it's kind of it will go well, it will work out. All the problems will be solved, immediately or in a magical way. Hmm?
Yeah, and it's not something that was set perfect from the beginning, in difference to the show up community that I started with organized classroom, with trainings, with guides, with directions. The way we started the Heartfelt Abundance Club, there was nothing. It was only the connections and the call replays from the abundance hours, but we also gave something else, and very important to our members. When everyone joins there, they receive personal soul map reading from you and sacred money archetypes reading from me, and this is very precious. And we're now even adding more things like monthly healing sessions to our new members. So if someone is interested, check below. We will share the links with you. Why we're doing that is because we both, with Despina, we are energy healers, we are therapists, we're educators, we're coaches and mentors. And we recognize both from our personal journey, but also from our clients, that the mind cannot resolve everything. There is a need for a holistic approach to healing, to transformation, to growth. Sometimes we have to dive deep into even the family stories, the energies of the families. Sometimes it has to be the whole culture of the country, because there might be some energies that are absorbed from there, and some mechanisms to compensate some collective trauma. Simply setting our mind to achieve goals and push, push, push hard. We already spoke about that, I think, in our previous episode. It doesn't work. This is not the time to think that things can be so flat. For some people, this is the reality. This is the truth. But as Despina said, we are very conscious about who we like to work, who we love to work, and who we know could benefit from the work with us. These are the people who trust that we're more complex, we're all connected, we are immersed in a collective field of consciousness. And when we do this healing or growth or transformation ourselves, we also impact the healing or the raising of the awareness of the whole collective. So yeah, we are clear about that, and that's why we're very okay. And I personally am very happy when I know that some people realize that they don't resonate with me and they don't stick around me, because then we won't be able to understand each other, because we simply speak different language, and not in the sense of foreign language. Is the language of the heart is different.
Yeah, it's so very true. I think the healer and the healee, if I can say, if I can make this word, let's say, they need to be fully resonating. Or the teacher and the student also need to be fully resonating, because it is easier to receive.
And thank you for adding that, because we had a very, I wouldn't say heated, very alive conversation in the Show Up community exactly about that. A member of our community asked how to approach a situation when I know that someone needs support, need healing, but they deny the healing. So if you're interested, you can join. Show Up is a free community, so you can join the conversation, you can join the space. And this type of conversations are taking place there. We feel strong, we feel equipped, and we want to help other people, but where is the border, where is the boundary between being an intruder in someone else's space and being a supporter and compassionate witness of their personal journey of growth and healing, if they choose to do that. So it's the big question of the personal choice and the free will. And of course, also recognizing when someone has been brainwashed and put in a constricted and not able for these reasons to see that there are other possibilities. So it's very subtle, and there is no one answer that is true. And we're having this type of conversations in our community and in our communities. Yeah.
Last question. Your name is Iskra. Iskra means
Means spark in
spark.
Bulgarian. Yes.
Okay. And what is your spark exactly?
What is my spark? My spark is to be connecting with other people like me, to be recognizing my soul brothers and sisters, and to be co-creating. And the things that I shared now, these are actually, this is the expression of my core values: co-creation, trust, purpose, connection, authenticity. This is what lights me up when I'm able to see how the person in front of me blossoms, and reveals the energies, the strengths, the power, the passion that they carry in themselves. I finally have found my space and my place and my calling to be able to support. I call them change makers. For some people, this is too strong energetically, but I believe that a change could be putting a smile on the face of someone, or holding space for someone to share whatever they have on their heart. So a change maker is someone who holds space for small or big business, life, health transformation. So my calling is to be there for these people. So when I support them and create the space, the conditions, the environment for them to flourish, to bloom, to open up, then our work brings exponential results.
Thank you.
I think, Despina, it was really surprising today. I enjoyed it, and I hope our viewers also enjoyed it. It went a little longer, but this is what happens when we are passionate about topics that we love. If you have any questions, drop them below. We will circle back. We will respond. If you're interested about how a very tight community of like-minded people feels and looks like, we invite you to join Show Up. This is a free community. If you want to go straight away into unleashing abundance by healing your money stories, money trauma, releasing the blockages that are stopping this energy of abundance to flow, because when we talk about money, we both with Despina usually mean the wider energy of abundance, which is abundance of joy, abundance of freedom, abundance of mobility, abundance of connections. You can straight away head towards the Heartfelt Abundance Club. And yeah, we would love to have you join us, have a conversation, connect with us, because I know for some people who are new in our world, maybe you need more information. We're here to answer.
Thank you, Iskra. And
Thank you.
please come and join us. We'd be happy to see you in this new space.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And until soon, everyone. Ciao, ciao for now.